Our next speaker is Salome Liyambo. Salome has a FIFA Master's degree in management and in law. She is also a former national team player for the Namibian Brave Warriors, and she is currently a FIFA and CAF coaching instructor. Salome, it's lovely to have you with us here today. Salome, could you give us insight in how you got the opportunity to do the FIFA Masters and graduate, and how that will work for your future work in football?
Thank you very much. It's a great honor for me to be here. I'm really excited to be talking not only to you, but to the listeners from all over the world. Women's football, or football in particular, is something that is very dear to my heart, having been an athlete and pursuing a sport course, a global one that is, and finding myself in a global institution, the number one global institution in the world that govern the number one sport in the world, being FIFA, and very excited to be the very first women's football officer appointed in the world. It couldn't have come easier, but because of the FIFA Master that has provided me with a foundation to prepare me, to give me the fundamental soft and hard skills required to enable me to be proactive in the sport industry, and also to give me the right knowledge and tools to understand and cope with any other situation that sport brings about. We have just witnessed the pandemic, when it just emerged, and now we are in it. We have survived. I can assure you that a lot of many other FIFA Master graduates who were prepared in the same manner as me have taken key decisions within the organization, because the course have really prepared them already to overcome this type of situations, even if they were not known. So it's a very supportive system. It's a shared knowledge approach. You get the best, and I can tell you that it's one of the best networking, one of the best educative course that you can ever find. I mean, who would give you a course that is given in 3 different countries, 3 different universities, with a multicultural awareness, international environment, people from all over the world that just bring massive ideas, different experience and opinions together and make you learn in a platform that never existed. So it has really prepared me and given me this opportunity to engage with the like-minded people, diverse cultures, and different shared knowledge. We might all play football, but it might be different in Namibia, in Europe, in Asia, and all over the world. So yes, it has prepared me well.
What project, what regions will be the focus of CAF for the short-term future?
Thank you very much for that very nice and fair question. I am a representative of Africa. I've played football on the African continent, and now I find myself working in an international organization that have to look after all other members all over the world. CAF is a very key stakeholder to FIFA, for example. And the aim of all these organizations is to ensure that we empower, we educate, and we give opportunities to athletes to showcase their talent, and not only athletes, but all other officials involved in the game. So having said that, CAF has just introduced a new competition, for example, for women, that is the CAF Women Champions League, that has taken place this month with the finals to take place November this year. So already it tells you that the focus of CAF cannot only be staged in one area of the continent, but they have a mandate to oversee the development of football in all sphere of the game within all its corners. So that is about bringing quality, effective, and sustainable leagues. That is developing all other officials, being referees, coaches, technical directors, administrators, and so forth. It's just to ensure that more development is given from an MA level, that is member associations of CAF, from the zonal level, That is the different zones that are divided within the CAF continent or within the continent of Africa. And of course, ensuring that once they have competed or they have educated, they have developed, they have capacitated these individuals, they can then showcase on a continental level before they can go to the global level. So I would say that CAF would really have to cover all corners of the continent and making sure that the imbalances of be it performance, be it development, be it capacity building in terms of its officials and all those that are touched and practice this sport in different roles, really get an opportunity to develop in whatever they do. So it will be the entire continent, and that is development and opportunities for all.
Salome, how do you see the role of African players who make it into the European leagues? What is their role in terms of awareness and motivation to boost football in Africa?
You know, all the African players that have made it to other leagues and not only European leagues really have a task, you know, to do back home or to give back. But first and foremost, they are role models. They have showcased that they are great ambassadors of the game from the African continent or representing the African continent. They are great warriors. When they're on the field, you can tell that, yes, there is impact. Their performances speak volume. You can follow statistics day in, day out, every weekend. They have been doing great. Of course, they are great role models, but they first have a responsibility that is to fulfill their desire to play, to perform, to be consistent, to showcase their talent as they have been doing it, to fulfill their dreams. Once they have fulfilled their dreams and really make sure that those that are within their supporting system are happy with what they do, in the process, they inspire others. They have been doing that. They also help develop the game in their own rights. I mean, some of them have got strongest point. Not too long ago, everybody knows the great story of Didier Drogba when he united the nation that was fighting through football. And not only that, you find that the likes of Oshaola, the likes of Barbara Banda, and all other players that have made it on a global continent, they come back home and they create this, you know, not only foundations, but they also sponsor leagues. They also, you know, they assist in so many ways. It's about giving back. They help boost those young girls within the African continent and young boys as well. They look up to them. Gone are days where young athletes will now start playing football and all they talk about is Messi and Ronaldo. We are trying to ensure that we create superstars from us, amongst us, and we look up on them and not always to take somebody else that is from far. Of course, there are some great players that we cannot deny, but I can assure you that the African continent have done that. Every young boy would want to be Mane. Every young girl would want to be Oshaola. Every young athlete coming up would is inspired to be the Desiree Ellis type of coach. As we have just seen, if you follow women's football, what happens between South Africa and Nigeria, in Nigeria during the cup that have just ended. So they have a task. They have been doing it. They do come to the party. They are role models. They do inspire. They give back a lot. You have also read and followed how all these athletes are coming back and really upgrading not only the sporting aspect of the game in Africa, but also the social, means the health sector. We also know how Mane is assisting government to build hospitals in his own country. And many other athletes are doing that at their level. And we only appreciate, and it helps boost the game. It gives even our political will the understanding that you don't need to be a doctor to be successful. You can be a sporting personnel, you can be a footballer and be able to give back to your community, something that will be appreciated on, larger margins.
Do you see, or are you aware of any European clubs who are doing partnerships with the Women's Soccer League in Namibia or with Sasol League clubs in South Africa? Because this is happening with some of the men's teams in Africa.
Yes, of course, this is something that is now coming over a lengthy period of time, that European clubs would find synergy with mostly not only clubs in Africa, but perhaps nations. You also watch EPL and you see Visit Rwanda on the Arsenal shirts, for example. Um, it goes bigger than just a club. They have synergies with the entire country to be able to also put us on the map. Even though you also saw the Visit Rwanda PSG sponsorship deal that is also to help promote tourism. We have seen the Basa Foundation, we have seen the Real Madrid and many other clubs. It's something that speaks volume. In my own country, for example, when I played for a very famous club back then, Okahanja Beauties, we had partnership with many of the female clubs in Germany. So this does not only end at having that, but it gives a lot of development to the game. It's about exchanging our players. Sometimes it's those opportunities that even when you see a COSAFA tournament, we have partnered now with La Liga, where you find that certain officials come and scout African players because of these partnerships that are there. And it does not only end there. It's not always about giving hard cash to say we invest, but investment come in different ways. And these partners and synergies are really working, and they have helped us. And we have seen the likes of most of our athletes going. Zenata Coleman is one of the star player in Namibia. She's showcasing her game in Spain. She have moved between 3 clubs now, and it's a benefit that have been birthed from this type of connections and partnerships.
Salome, you've got a huge role to play in African women's football. We look forward to all your wisdom and your knowledge. That FIFA Master's degree will definitely come in handy in terms of helping us take African women's football to the next level. We wish you every success, and I'm sure on behalf of all the speakers, all the panelists, everyone watching, we fully support you in all your activities in taking women's football to the next level.
Well, it's pretty much simple, but simple to say, but difficult to implement. It's not something that comes overnight. The key word is empower, more development, and create opportunities. In Africa, it has been shown, it's evident that talent is enormous. It's all over. And I am one example that I never played in any youth structures, for example. I joined a national team when I was already 23. You can already imagine that, the mastering stage of skills, for example, was already passed, but one is still able to showcase and do something that is significant at that level. So when we empower those that are within the game, for them to really have the knowledge and skills to pass on to the young ones, it starts with grassroots, it goes to youth. And once we have all these well-structured platforms, our players will be able to grow, understand, and know the game better. They'll be able to participate with different mentality. Football is not about how skillful your foot is. Sometimes you play with your mind. It's knowing when to pass the ball, where your opponent, it creates awareness of all situation of the game. So for women football really to be boosted in Africa, and to ensure that even the international bodies mission, or which is making football truly global and ensuring that what opportunities exist in one part of the world can also be found in others. And that will also limit certain movement, or perhaps we can attract Europeans coming to Africa to play in our leagues. As they always say, we are very physical, but it's a good thing. So it's to ensure that we have to create opportunities at all levels, and for all those that are involved in the game. We need to focus on development and sustainable leagues. we need to ensure that the pathway is set and it's so clear, and the opportunity is given to all to be able to pass through that sieve of knowledge and that sieve of skills for them to be able to go with what is best and to showcase at a high level. So it's all about us that need to create awareness. We need to come up with great opportunities. We need to create capacity building. We need to develop the game in all aspects of football. And we also need to ensure that we change the mindset of those individuals who believe women football is second best or it's not important. One day we'll be able to see, perhaps, who knows, my dream is always to say an African female team has got a potential to win a world title before any men's team does on the continent. And that is what I wish to see.